All right. All right. All right. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Troy, and this is another episode of the Mental Health Podcast. Guess what, everybody? First of all, I'm so glad to be here with y'all on a Monday night. Second of all, this is officially 3 months in the podcast game. 3 months, 3 whole months. We did it. You know what I'm saying? We really out here. So like, shout out to every single one of y'all that tap in, every single one of y'all that tune in every single week, week after week after week, and share your stories and listen to ours and listen to us complain and bitch and moan and groan about everything that we deal with on a day to day. Shout out to y'all. Secondly, we we're doing some big things over here at the Mental Health Podcast. In case y'all didn't know, last week we had a really good episode getting into BPD, borderline personality disorder, and depression, and all of the accoutrements that accompany such, you know, uh, um, a disorder, I guess if you want to call it. Anyways, so we have today with us, unfortunately not live, but live, our first doctor. You know what I'm saying? We have our first licensed actual doctor up here to actually talk about this shit, to get into this nitty gritty, to see what she sees and hear what she sees on a regular basis, and how we can all come together and learn how to cope with this kind of shit together. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the biggest thing. So without further ado, please help me introduce Dr. Emily Hotz. Now, I believe I said your last name right. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You got it. Probably the first of many to get it on the first try. So that's
All
awesome.
right. Well, in my defense, I asked Haley and Jenna both, and I'm pretty sure I verified this a couple of days ago, but I had to be sure. But anyways, welcome, dude. We are so glad to actually have you up here. We're so glad that you can make it. How are you?
I am great. I am so honored, Troy. First of all, congratulations on your 3 months. You are
Hell
right. You
yeah.
are doing big things and honestly getting to see and be a part of what this podcast does for so many people week after week is very much an honor. So I'm happy to be here, happy to have some good conversations tonight,
Absolutely.
and see where this goes.
Yeah, dude, me too. So like, the whole from the day one, you know what I mean, this is the kind of route that I wanted to go. I wanted to have like professionals, and also, I mean, obviously also people that struggle with it on a regular and on a day-to-day basis, you know what I mean, because that kind of exposure is crucial. But ultimately what I wanted to do was have a licensed professional come on this show, and you know what I mean, kind of get into this and break down this and peel back some of these layers for somebody that may be struggling, that can't recognize the signs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
It's
definitely.
really it's just kind of starting off the bat. They say that March is the biggest month for mental health, and you would think it would be like, as school's starting or as it's getting colder and darker. But no, it's actually March. And the reason they say because you're going through seasonal depression,
Hmm.
but when you come out of it and the sun is shining and the days are getting longer, you're like, oh shit, I'm still fucking depressed. And so
Right.
that's usually that cue for people to, okay, something's not going on. I can't blame this on the weather anymore.
Right.
So what a great time to be talking about this and, having other people recognize and have the self-awareness in themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know me, and I mean, I'm not alone in this, but like, I know a lot of people that suffer and struggle with the seasonal depression, and you know what I mean, and dealing with that. And like, I see people comment like, vitamin D supplements, vitamin supplements like that works, and it only goes so far. It only
Yeah.
does so much, and you can only do so much supplementing before, like, at what point does it stop, you know, helping, or you know what I mean?
I do. I think like the biggest struggle that I notice in my clients is coping with things that aren't in their control. And
Mm,
when you have things that are in our control, sometimes the things that we do not help. So, like, I
right,
know for people when they either try to change up their day, take a different route to work, wear their favorite outfit, eat what they want to eat. Like those are forms of control that they're trying to take back that power in their lives. But
right,
when we have things like the weather or, nagging family members or your boss yelling at you, so
right.
many things that we still, even if they aren't problems we caused, we still have to deal with them anyway.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so that's, I think, the burden so much of like just being a human being. But
Yeah, yeah, no, it comes with the territory. Bear with me one second. My OCD's kicking in, and I can see that my camera's just a little bit cockeyed. So bear with me one second.
absolutely. I have a technique for that if you need.
All right, I can deal with that. um, but yeah, no, that's I've noticed that's one thing that I struggle with like immensely is that transition between okay, now we're starting to get now we're getting more light, but like you said, like I'm still depressed. I'm still dealing with that. So like the whole March thing definitely makes sense. Um, you know what I mean? Because it's that awkward transition between like dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon
Yeah.
and getting our summer back in our regular degular life as Jenna would call it. You know what I mean? Regular degular depressions.
Facts. I mean, kind of just on that topic of conversation, I did bring my own few talking points based off of what you guys were talking about last week. But one of the self-awareness things I think, what are the signs that you're burned out? Like, how do you know when you are burned out?
Like me personally, like this is an actual question.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
I
curious.
I don't until until I go to sleep and I don't wake up until 18 hours later and I'm like, "Damn, what the fuck happened?" You know what I mean? And then I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, like okay, thinking back, I'm like I probably definitely pushed myself a little bit too much this week or whatever the case may be, but like outside of that, like exact Jenna knows it. It's crash out time. Like that's I told you the Subway story,
I
okay?
love that story.
So that is like how I know that I have you know what
Spilt
I
milk.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Current
It's
biggest
like a
fear is the
normal
mental
day. Oh,
mental
wait.
switch from seasonal depression to regular depression on top of being postpartum. So, my
Oh,
cousin's
God.
wife just had a baby. Um, he's a stinking cutie pie.
First
Um,
baby?
no, this is her second.
Okay.
So without getting too far into it, she struggled with postpartum really badly the first time.
Yeah.
And I think that it got to the point where like that kind of prevented her from wanting another baby.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's real life. I see it happen. I see friends and family members go through it. So like, it's terrifying. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
like I what do you have what kind of advice do you have there? Like doing that on top of dealing with postpartum.
I think a part of postpartum has to be validated and like normalized because your whole life is changing. If you struggle to, take care of yourself on a normal day and now you're having to carry for like a human being where you are responsible for their development and all those things.
Yep.
Oh, you guys are cute. Um I Life adjustment issues are probably the number one thing that gets people through the door, whether it be problems in their relationship, a new job, a new baby, knowing that their whole reality or their whole schedule that they're used to is going to shift and change. And I think, the little energy that people already have going through the chaos and the bullshit of the everyday, that little energy now goes to a baby.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of medical and hormone component too. So I think collaboration with doctors, with therapists, but really just being gentle on yourself. Like you are a person, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like my clients hear this all the time. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first, but when you have a baby that's, needing food or comforting or needing to be soothed. That's not something that they can do on their own yet. So it really does come down to having support, feeling like you have a good support like network to talk to about these things. I always say like joining new moms groups is really beneficial because parenting itself can be so super isolating. I'm not a parent. Um, but just hearing, from those that are parents, it's finding time for yourself, finding time for your partner, finding time for your kid, then going back to work. And then, oh, now my mom is asking to see me. And God, it's
Right.
just there's only so many buckets and you only have 100% to pour into all those buckets. So,
Right. And you can't like and no matter how much you want to, you can't completely neglect yourself. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
you
yeah, your baby needs you at the end of the day, but then you start to feel bad and guilty about that. I was telling you about this, Troy, when we were talking a week or two ago, but the second arrows
oh
are
my god, dude, that has
fucking
like
rough.
that all right, so I'm so glad that you actually brought that up and you mentioned that because I have since used that analogy thrice
Hmm.
with helping my friends out, you know what I
It's
mean?
awesome.
And like and they're all dudes, we're all dudes, you know what I mean? So I'm like, "Yo, listen to this shit. I got some shit that's gonna blow your fucking mind."
It's true.
And I told them and I'm like, "Dude, like ever since I heard it, like it's incredible." So I want you to explain it fully, obviously, but like I just it's been life changing. Go ahead.
First of
Go ahead.
all, these comments coming in, I love all of you. You are wonderful. But second arrows are so the idea behind second arrows is let's say you're depressed, right? I'm gonna do this. My clients laugh at me when I do this. They say it looks dirty, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's bad enough as it is, but now if you're beating yourself up about it, one, it doesn't change the reality of the situation, and two, it's only making the situation worse for yourself.
Right.
So, like, if my client's depressed and they're like, I didn't do anything this week except for shower. I'm like, okay, first of all, small wins. Let's celebrate. But it's
Right.
bad enough you're depressed if now you're saying, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get up? Why can't I be a better friend? That is not going to put you in a better headspace. And if you're more gentle with yourself in those moments, they actually last shorter than they would be if you were being hard on yourself. You
Right.
know? Like
Right.
nobody fucking likes to be kicked when you're down, but why do we do it to ourselves constantly?
Right. I mean, we're our own worst enemies. We're our own worst critics when it comes to that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, I feel like it's just innate that we set such high expectations for ourselves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We set and we like try to get these unobtainable goals and we destroy ourselves if we can't get it done in overnight it seems, you know what I mean? And
1,000%.
and it's like I struggle with it so like I don't know how to help somebody that you know what I mean that deals with that but like that whole second arrow thing like kind of just the light bulb went off in my head, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And,
No,
dude,
1,000%.
everybody is loving it, and this is incredible, and this is why I really like. I understand that this is like a podcast for men's mental health, but like from somebody who's in the field, like you can give us like practical examples, and you know what I mean, and really like I mean, we're all the same age about, you know what I mean? So like we're in the same you can really break the shit down so we can like make it make sense in our head, you know what I mean? Because by the book, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes any sense.
No.
When you take it out of that giant fucking book of mental disorders, it
Yeah.
like
Sitting
it
on my desk over there.
yeah, I bet you it's staring you right in the face.
It is. I hate I mean, it's hard because I think in some aspect, labels are validating for client. It's kind of like the I'm not broken, but my brain is wired differently.
Right.
On the other side, right, it can stick into a client's head. If I get labeled at this at such a young age, how long does this carry on with me? And am I always going to need medication? Where's the stigma? Right.
Right.
And I heard you talk. I think that this is where this podcast really like was born out of the stigma around men's mental health.
Yep.
And I was doing the counting today. Like currently, I see 30 clients a week and 15 of them are either males or trans males. So half of my clients are men. And when I was talking to my supervisor about that, she was looking at my caseload and she's like, "That's really surprising." And the fact that they stay, I mean, obviously, I try to give my clients something in that 1 hour that they can carry on for the other 7 days of the week that I'm not seeing them. Whether this be a homework assignment, whether it be a skill. I even have, like, my DBT flashcards that I use with my cl like, it's some of this sounds nutty, and even talking about it, sometimes I'm like, "Yeah, okay, like, they're really gonna do that?" But then when they come back the next week and they're like, "Oh, I tried that thing you were talking about," or,
Yeah.
"I heard your voice in my head this week." Like, possession is my new favorite superhero trick, is, like, having my clients hear me on their weeks,
Yeah.
just remembering, like, not to be so hard on themselves all the time, so
So I it's funny that you had brought up the numbers, because
mhm.
that was like numero one of my number one questions. I mean, we kind of really just jumped into this and took off, so I had a whole bunch in my head. But like, I'm whatever. I'm happy that this is the route that we're taking. Um, that's a wild number. Now, when you say, pardon my ignorance, everybody out there, please pardon my ignorance. Now, when you say trans male, are you talking like female to male or male to female?
So, assigned female at birth that are
Okay.
transitioning into males, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, do you know the exact number of like assigned male at birth? I assume.
It's so crazy because, like, I don't even see them. I mean,
I
yes, we, like, acknowledge their trans identity,
Yes.
but a lot of them want to not be seen as trans, but wanna be seen as men,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And so having that conversation is very different depending on the client.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask like what the ratio of men to women was, especially like in your practice with you being like younger than your average like therapist, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how um so like that number is what now what do you do different between the two? Like how do you encourage the guys to keep going? Because I know that like most of us, as soon as we run into one roadblock, it's fucking over. It's game over. You're never seeing me again. So
Yeah.
like, how do you keep that engagement, and like, what is it that you're doing different than most therapists or most psychologists to?
I love, love, love that question so much because, you know, I think for me, I really have to be authentic. I have to be real with them. I'm an old soul, as my biggest cheerleader says in the comments.
I assume
But
that's mom right there.
that's mom. That
Yo,
is mom.
shout out to mom. You raised a great human being, a great kid. She's like,
So sweet.
I'm so glad to have her on the show, and just pouring all this insight, giving our male viewers, a perspective that most would never see. So like, shout out to you.
Actually, Troy, I was talking to one of my newer male clients today, and I was telling him that I was doing this podcast, and I kind of use it as an opportunity to be like, so what is your take on mental health? We've only been working together for like 3 weeks now. Um, and he said, I have this great group of friends that we've been tight since high school, and we were the losers in high school. We skipped lunch, we would go break into the theater, fuck around on the piano, write songs together.
Yeah.
And I was like, "So then how are you still so close with these guys?" And he said that truly it was a sense of love and non-judgment. And that is what I meet my clients with. Love and non-judgment. You come to me, you tell me truly anything that,
Mm.
like, I like the TMI whenever a client's like TMI, I'm like, "Tell me more." Like, that is my tell it immediately
Yeah.
instead of it being too much information. I think it's just about having somebody who listens. Somebody, again, like you even said last week, is not there just for the paycheck, but I truly, like, I think about my clients outside of work,
Right.
whether that be a boundary issue or not. I think the old way that therapy is, so tell me about your problems. Oh,
Right.
like, it's just I like to use humor. I like to, mess around with them, fuck around with them, talk, show me the red receipts, show me the memes that you're looking at, tell me about
Right.
your friends. Um,
All
To
right,
me, that's the
so
worst.
you just keep it like 100% G real with them. Like you just, you know what I mean, down. All right, so like
I would be
now
exhausted if I didn't. Could you imagine sitting there for 8 hours a day? For
faking it,
8 hours,
faking it.
faking it,
Yeah,
listening to
no.
problem after problem after problem with your own mental shit going on in the
Yeah, no.
background.
No.
I used to, when I first started with my training, this mask that was on was ridiculous. And I was so burned out. I told myself, there's no way in hell I'm going into counseling. Like I was
Mm,
in grad school. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I can't see 40 clients a week. And now it doesn't feel as much as a performance, but rather just a candid conversation between
right.
friends. Like therapy should feel like a pair of slippers, not a pair of heels.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, these are so cute.
Yeah, I listen, you got the comments going crazy. Like I like they're this is wonderful. I love that our viewers are loving this because I am
Me
too. I've got
too.
the more that this conversation happens and the more that we progress, like the more questions I have because like I'm genuinely curious, you know what I mean? When you said you make them feel seen,
Mm,
that is huge. I mean, from you know what I mean, a guy's perspective, from a male's perspective, being seen and being heard and being validated is like numero uno. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have health insurance for a long time, and I got this new job. I actually, it's not new anymore. I've been there for almost a year now.
wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. But so I
Isn't it
finally
time flies,
it
seriously.
does, dude. Like they let me
Yeah.
run the parts department for an entire year. That's a crazy, crazy concept. Um, but so I finally get like health insurance, and I'm like, Haley's like, you got to go see a doctor. You got to go see a doctor. Like you got to get on top of that. You got to go see a doctor. I was like, nah, fuck that, because like I'm good now. You know what I mean? I get up and I do my thing, and I'm good. And she's like, yeah, but you're gonna do that until you're not good. And I was like,
Until you sleep 18 hours or
yeah,
fucking, burn down a subway.
right. So,
Just saying. I mean, it's
oh man, arson at the subway.
preventative medicine. We're about preventative medicine.
Right. But so oh, I kind of forgot my train of thought.
Sorry, I do this all the
No,
time.
you're good. I don't even remember where I was going with that.
Haley saying that
Oh,
now
yeah.
that you had,
So I needed to go see a doctor and I was like, "All right, fine, fuck it." And then Jenna was like, I'm just making you the appointment and you're just going to come see it." And I was just like,
that's a friend.
yeah. So I was like, "All right, whatever." So she gets me in with one of the doctors at her job
Mhm.
and like off the rip, dude, like I felt seen, I felt heard, I felt understood, not judged, and like I was like, um, at the end of the appointment, she's like, because Jenna gave her all of the rundown of like me, you know what I'm saying, and so she's like, "You gonna come back?" And I was like,
No.
"Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess."
And
Haley
did
says,
you?
Yeah, I did. She actually helped me get on the meds that I needed. I got to start tweaking them a little bit, but like she got me back on that train. You know what I mean? And it's great. I feel
Dude, that's
good,
huge. And
and like
sometimes it takes a little push, but
yeah, and like being seen and being heard and understood was like what sold me. You know what I mean? And like
definitely.
that was it for me. Like I have never in the history of my entire life felt heard, seen, or understood by a doctor ever. So I don't go.
That's like such, again, going back to the stigma and the mental health stigma, not only for men is just huge across the board,
Yep.
but especially in Black and brown communities, right? Is like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you muddle through, you don't complain, you keep going. Because, in those types of communities where they already feel like that they're being pushed back by society and by, again, these fucked up systems that are already at play.
Oh,
It's like,
absolutely.
why would I trust somebody who's in power or a doctor or talk about my mental health when I'm already feeling and being portrayed as like inadequate across society?
Right. Yep. That's and I mean, growing up in a lower class, you know what I mean, area. I That's the way that I grew up. That's the way that I saw. You know what I mean? Like I was
And who
always on
can
state,
afford it?
right? And I was on state everything, and you know what I mean. That was like just all I knew.
Yeah,
and I never trusted anybody. I never, you know what I mean? That was a huge thing. I was, like, by myself and in my own whatever world I created inside my head to, like, escape what was going on right then and there, you know what I'm saying?
definitely. And
And it's rough.
it is. And I think, also growing up low income, it's again these factors that are so out of our control, yet we are subject to them, and like impact our development.
Yeah.
Is there are times when maybe you don't have hot water, or you don't have heat, or you don't have electricity, right? And you're seeing your parents' reactions to this,
Yep.
and either you're seeing them flip a fucking lid. But that's also the thing generationally too, is I think our generation is really giving mental health a voice, especially men a voice. Finally,
Yeah.
they can be part of this conversation, and it's not seen as weakness. They're not seen as less than or like second class citizens for having emotions, but it should be celebrated. It should be encouraged. It needs to be,
Absolutely.
you guys aren't robots, right?
No.
You
No,
can't
we're
take
not.
on the whole fucking world.
No, no, we can't, and, like, it's I'm excited and I'm happy to be a part and bear witness to, like, the changing of the stigma and, you know what I
Being
mean,
part of it,
the
yeah.
exact and, trying to be an active part of it and trying to be, you know what I mean, like, one that I don't wanna use the words, spearheading, but, like, I wanna take charge, I wanna do something, you know what I mean? Because, like, while this may be a smaller platform, like, right now, I can tell you, like, I don't plan on giving up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't plan on stopping this anytime soon. I realized today that we're 3 months into this, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And, like, that's my goal is I wanna be a name that is associated with breaking that stigma and changing that and, like, giving us a voice and, letting everybody know that it's okay for us to say stuff. It's okay for us to speak up.
Dude, 3 months, that's a quarter of a year.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
literally have been doing this for a whole quarter of the year.
Yeah. And
And
crazy.
I mean, we see this in group therapy too, is by telling our stories, not only does it heal a part of us, but it does inspire other people. Like, oh, it's so sweet. Um, I think for me, as somebody who has gone through her own mental health struggles, we have a term for, counselors and clinicians that maybe have, struggled themselves. And we call ourselves the wounded healers. Like, we know what it's like to be on the side of the couch or have really bad days where you don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, partly, yes, my profession is my trauma response. It's like I don't need to think about my shit if I'm focused on 8 other people's shit today. That's really
Valid.
easy for me.
I can't even
But
argue that.
right, but, like, sharing my story with, you or my friends, and then knowing it does inspire others, even the little self-disclosures that I do with my clients is that's something else, is if they have a question for me, I answer it. I do it honestly, and
Yeah.
other clinicians may have their own, like, judgments about that or their own rules or boundaries around that. I don't think it's helpful. This is a relationship that we're having, and we need to
Yeah.
model and teach our clients what a healthy relationship looks like.
No, no, absolutely. And I love that that was your trauma response, you know what I mean? Like, I love that, like, you chose to, like, make a stand and take it and take charge and, like, yourself, spearhead that. So, that kinda leads me into my next question, though.
Yeah.
Um, Now, what be as specific or as vague as you want. What kind of personal experiences did you kind of endure so, like, you which gives you maybe a different perspective or a different attack angle on certain clients, like, what
Ooh, that is a toughie because I have to be able to separate my own shit from my client shit.
Yeah.
Like, I have a client right now whose mother is suffering, I think, from ALS and, just
Mm,
really taking a downhill turn fast. At the same time, my mom is going through her own health things. And so when you're showing up with a client and you have to recognize you're not counseling yourself, but as a teen, that's really like going through puberty. my God. I I don't know if you just turn into an alien or shit goes out the window, but it's like you're taking on so many different things while also dealing with hormonal changes.
Yeah.
And I think I alluded to this with you before is, I had 4 to 5 hospital stays. I did the group therapy. I, met with the individual counselors, the group counselors. And it was through that, you know, seeing professionals that could be personable is
Yeah.
where I found that passion. So I get it. It's like you can still be successful. I never thought I would make it past my 18th birthday. And now seeing 30 clients a week, hearing that I'm making a difference or that I'm helping with something, I'm like, again, the butterfly effect. It's like if I
Yeah.
had done something irreversible then, who would be helping these people now? And would they be getting the same treatment? Probably not, because I'm so great. But
So yeah, valid. I can't argue with that. Um, and that's it's great, dude. So it's Jenna had a funny comment. Said,
mentally
What
ill.
flavor of mentally ill are you?" Is his question.
All of the flavors. I'm like the freaking Skittles pack. No, I suffer from anxiety, depression. I've been diagnosed with OCD. So, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable has been,
Mm, so uncomfortable.
oh my God. It's like they say, do
Ah,
something that
man.
scares you every day. Why? Why are we doing that? Can I stay? And
I I wake
yeah,
up.
you literally, I mean, it's so funny. Clients come to me and all their trauma, all their mental health issues, all their family dynamics, it's all packed nicely in a little suitcase. And then they
Mm.
come to me and I unzip that shit and I'm like, "Okay, let's unpack this." And they're like, "No, it's
Oh,
it's it's all perfect. It's all nice the way it's supposed to be." But no, we take out an article of clothing, we look at it. "Okay,
yeah.
we done with this one? All right, let's put it in a new suitcase, nice and sound."
Mm. See, I like that, especially with having OCD. Like that's got to be a wild ride for you, and like I can only imagine. But I can see where that would help. Like just using it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
giving your clients like, hey, all right, so like it's gonna be messy for a minute, but like I promise I got OCD. We're gonna put this shit back together. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
I
like you can utilize your disorder, or you know what I mean, like your diagnosis to your benefit while working with these
yes.
clients.
OCD is it's a lot around control, right? Again,
Mm.
and what
Yep.
we do when we don't have control, how do we act to feel grounded? Um, there's something I wanted to say on that though. That's gonna bother me. See, that's my OCD. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yep.
Um, no, maybe it'll
Reminds
come back.
reminds me of that Rick and Morty episode where where what's his name? Morty rips into his older sister, like, get your shit together. I don't care what you do, put it in a bag, get your shit together. Like that's I tell myself that. I replay that episode in my head probably about 90 times a day when I don't have my shit together.
Yeah. I mean, again, like as a kid, when you see your world spiral out of control, whether it be trauma happening in the home or,
Yeah.
just things that you're witnessing.
And that was a lot of what I was dealing with, you know what I mean? I found comfort in like what was up here rather than what was going on around me. You know what I mean? Like I had I mean, for a quick rundown, my mom was addicted to drugs. Like I lived with my stepdad. My stepdad was verbally abusive. My brothers were, you know what I mean? Like it was a snowball of things. Like they may not have seen it like that. That's how I took it. You know what I mean? Like I was really uncomfortable, and like just blossomed like insecurities and just fucked up shit.
Yep.
And then like so whenever something bad would happen, I would literally like withdraw myself mentally and then just go like check in another part of my head.
Yep. And again, the
And
dissociation, right?
so bad.
It's crazy. I think you guys were talking about the fight or flight last week, and they tell us in grad school, like your amygdala once served a purpose. It was to gauge whether going in that cave is safe or not, crossing this river is going to be okay. Like it's survival. And now it's
Right.
like I hear a loud noise on the street and I'm like ready to jump out of my own skin.
Yeah.
when we're in that mode, you're tapping solely into your reptilian part of your brain. That's not thinking of the logical side of your brain, but now it's again just completely in survival mode.
Yeah, that's like and that's where I spent like 90% of my childhood, you know what I mean? And people ask me like I feel like certain things like I have to relearn from, you know what I mean, back then because like
Oh,
I spent so much time like completely checked out. You know what I mean? And we're talking months at a time. Um
can I ask
and
you a therapy question?
go for it.
How are you relearning?
In the moment, like by the fucking seat of my pants, and I'm learning.
Fake it until you make it.
I'm not even kidding. Like it could be something as simple as like math problems or like a way to figure out a math problem. I look at the shit and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know. Like I'll set it up and then I'll go. You know what I mean? Like I learn that stuff or like you know vocabulary definitions or you know what I mean just different stuff that I learned in school growing up that like I don't remember at all but like I come across it now in my adult life and it's like fuck dude like I don't know the answer to this so like let me go to Google and then it like unlocks this like little vault in my head and then like immediately opens some sort of fucking trauma box.
Have you heard of The Body Keeps the Score?
No.
So that is a book a lot about how, consciously or unconsciously we hold trauma in our bodies.
Yeah.
And so, like, a certain smell, right? Or even certain like exercises or yoga positions that people do can be extremely triggering, especially if they're like survivors of sexual abuse. And you feel it in your body. Your body's actually remembering this trauma.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, like, when you are relearning these things, if it almost puts you back in that space that you were before, or makes you kind of think about what you were going through in that time.
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible. You know what movie? Sorry, this is like my ADHD here. You know what movie I like really resonate with and like
The
and
alphabet soup, right? OCD, ADHD, ASD, BPD.
so it's funny that you bring that up because when you had said most of my BPD clients come with a lot more of the alphabet,
Totally.
I sat down and I thought about it and I was like, son of a biscuit eating bulldog. Like
I do have
you're
autism. No.
right. I mean, listen, your Jenna tells me that every day. But no, I resonate a lot with that movie Inside Out.
Oh, I love that
You
movie.
know what I mean? And
The
like,
feelings movie.
dude, I hate that I like do, but like when I watch that movie, like if I feel like little bits inside of me, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit, like all right, so my life wasn't supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I kind of like heal myself. It's I don't know, it's weird. My brain works in very weird ways.
Back here
Uh,
is a feelings wheel. And in the center is like the basic emotions like sadness, happiness, anger,
yeah,
emotions. I think for the hardest thing for men is identifying the emotion they're feeling in that moment and then connecting it to how they're feeling in their bodies.
because it all just comes out as rage for most men.
Yeah, or to actually take a fucking minute to stop and ask yourself, how am I feeling and how should I cope with this or proceed mindfully? It's like, nope, I just got to keep going. There's no time. Too many people are counting on me, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's, my God, there's an enormous pressure.
There is, and it's like that's like honestly half the reason why I started or even had the idea to do this. You know what I mean? Like
40 minutes has already gone by.
I know it's insane.
That is actually crazy. Now I'm checking my notes, making sure. Oh, when you guys were talking about borderline personality disorder,
Yes.
just a fun fact: there is like not every single place even recognizes that personality disorders are a thing, and so it even kind of leaves the thought of how are they getting the help that they need when they have these kind of mental diagnoses.
Right.
Like for example, I think like in a lot of Asian cultures, that they don't believe your personality can be disordered. And
Mm.
so therefore they don't acknowledge those things. So even when the system is telling, no, nothing's wrong with you, no, you're fine. Um, yeah, no, it just kind of sparked my mind.
See, I didn't. I thought it was like I thought that kind of stuff was like world, like nationally or like widespread,
You would
um,
think.
acknowledged. But like that's nuts to me. It's when I was. I mean, shit. It was 10 and a half years ago, and I'm 30. I'll be 33 this year, so I'm trying to figure out. Anyways, I was like 22 ish at the time, and my first daughter was like just born. She was about 6 months old, and
Wow.
like, and like I got like so incredibly overwhelmed and like
The
absolute,
transition.
absolutely spiraled and landed myself in the psych ward for like 2.5, almost 3 weeks.
Hmm.
And like, what's
Did you feel
nuts?
like it helped?
No,
Sam.
no, dude. All they did, was basically let us fuck off all day. We played the Wii,
Yep.
listened to music, and I didn't see a doctor until 36 hours before it got released. Yeah,
Oh my God. They kept
so
you for 2 weeks?
yeah, so they did nothing. So for the first 2 days, they had me downstairs in, like, the basement of Middlesex Hospital until a room opened up,
Were you
and
on the adult psych ward?
yeah, yeah, and I was in North 7,
Hmm.
and I was like, dude, like, cause at that point, I had, like, walked out in front of an 18-wheeler, and I was, like, really, you know what I mean? I was ready, I was done,
Yep.
so I was fed up and, like, obviously it didn't happen, and I was like, "All right, well, I need to go to the hospital." So I went to Westbrook, and they kept me in the 2 rooms that they keep for the psychos. They kept me there, transported me by ambulance to
Hmm.
Middlesex, kept me in the fucking basement with, like, a bunch of other people that were just like me. Some of them got released because, like, I think they were on, like, a 72-hour or something, you know what I mean? Whatever. So, I thought maybe, like, that was gonna be it for me. I was like, "Alright, I've calmed down, like, we're good." No, they started stuffing me full of pills, and then they brought me upstairs, and, like, for the next 2 weeks, I was just engaging with the people around me or, like, disengaging because I don't remember most of that time while I was there. They had
Definitely.
me Dude, they had me on, let's see, I was on Effexor XR, I was on Trazodone, I was on Klonopin, Prazosin. Does that sound
Yep,
familiar?
it does. Absolutely.
And then, like, one more. Dude, and they like, that was me the entire 2 weeks I was there, and then when the doctor finally came in the room, she's like, "How you feeling?" And I was like, "Fucked if I know." You know what I mean?
Right, right. Like
I don't feel a fucking thing. Like, the
that's like
the only thing that I do remember was that, like, everything was so vivid when I walked out of the hospital, like, to the car. Like, everything outside was just, like, all the colors were, like, just bright as fuck, and, like, I felt so good to be out of the hospital, but, like,
mhm.
I was a it I but that, among other things, like, ruined every relationship I had around me, everything that it was so bad. So
Well,
bad.
even then, it's like, okay, they put you in the hospital, but they're not teaching you really
No.
how to cope when you get out.
No.
I would see this a lot. I used to work at an agency where young individuals of the juvenile justice system would be getting out of like a lockdown facility and coming to our step down.
Yep.
And doing family therapy with these guys, you would see like it was all men. You would see week after week them improve. And the second you get their family in for a family session,
Yep.
immediately now they're causing a fight in the lunchroom, and now they're like trying to steal other medications. It was so disheartening, so dysregulating, and it was a
Yep.
revolving door system. It was
Dude.
like you would come in, you would get better for a second, we give you
Yep.
some Benadryl, we give you some drugs, we send you right back to the crazy shit that brought you back here in the first place.
Yeah. I against every medical professional's advice, took myself off of all of those meds at the same time.
Same.
And oh boy, that was fucking that
It's
was
a
brutal.
choice. It is a
It's
choice. I don't
it
recommend doing that, but
No, 0 out of 10 do not recommend, dude. It was arguably one of the worst experiences in my entire life because it took like months
mhm.
for it to like really. I was on the highest dose of XR that you could possibly be on.
Did
Like
they ever
they
put you on lithium?
no, no, like that.
When I was
I
13,
That's nuts, dude. That's insane.
you can't even
Like
be diagnosed as bipolar at
no.
that age. You have to wait until they're in adulthood and your
Yeah.
brain is fully developed.
Yep.
Meanwhile, they're numbing you.
Yeah. I mean, and like, but the unfortunate thing is like back in that time, that was like really all that was, that there was like this much information then compared to what we have now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like, it's a very unfortunate byproduct of being young and having a disorder like that in an era where it wasn't necessarily accepted, where people just thought that was just a label that you put on people that need to be lobotomized. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I do
so
have to say, like, the professionals that are in those spaces, though, like, they're burned out. They're seeing so many clients. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I think this again goes back to like access, right? Like, if
yeah,
I don't have health insurance, they're going to put me in, again, a revolving door system where I'm spending 10 minutes with a clinician, I'm getting a medication, and they're going to send me out the door and tell me to feel better,
right.
right? But eh, again, that's not everybody's story.
No.
So if I was to give anybody like mental health advice, I would just tell them to try and try until they find the right fit. And you'll know when you
Yeah.
find the right fit, when you can talk about this shit and not feel like you're on
So
a pedestal.
here's a question though, because I know like a lot of people struggle with this particular issue. For those that don't have insurance or those that live, you know what I mean? They're like everybody else, paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
How do you recommend one figure something out to do with their mental health? Like that one won't hurt their pockets, or like you know what I mean? Because a podcast obviously only does so much and it's really like group setting y, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously everybody knows that like all of our guests, their inboxes are always open, but like, what does one do when they need help beyond that, but they can't get it? They can't afford it.
Yeah. That is a wonderful question. And I think it depends on where they are, right?
Yeah.
First of all, if they can't afford therapy or they aren't sure about therapy, podcasts, self-help books, um, workbooks that they could tap into, a support system. Like, you don't have to be a client in therapy to go to support groups. And
Okay.
there are so many that are out there, whether it be a new mom support group, an
Yeah.
LGBTQ support group, social justice support groups at this point.
Yeah.
But if a client is really struggling and they are looking for professional mental health medication,
Yeah.
one example is Serenity Wellness in Middletown or Branford in Connecticut. Is we offer sliding scales for our clients, and a lot of other clinicians will too. Psychology Today is awesome for this. You can put
Yeah.
in what insurance you have, if any. If you're looking for, a man, a woman, virtual, in person, what kind of issues are you struggling with? And it
Is
kind of
there
lists
any
everybody out.
is that you have a website, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes, yes, we do.
Can you do me can you send that to me right now? I'll put it in the comments. I'll put it on the chat.
Yes,
Like I'll you know what I mean? I'll make it public so that way that everybody can see, you know what I mean, that this is an option. This is not, you're not limited, you know what I mean? Just because you might not be able to afford it right now doesn't mean that getting the help that you need is beyond your reach. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And like that's why I mean I would love to formally invite you to be here regularly on like a month to month basis,
Oh, I'd
um
love that.
where we can talk about different, like this one with BPD, and like just the many faces of it and all of the shit that comes with it. Like we could do this for months. There's so much content and there's so much stuff that I'd like to, go over with you.
Hell
Um,
yeah. I'm so in. I mean, again, looking at the clock, I was like, but I have more things and
no,
more things
listen,
to
let's,
say.
I mean, we can keep going. I had the anticipation that this might run a little bit longer than I had planned. So like I'm here for it. I normally finish at 9:30. So like we can keep going.
I love it.
Jenna wants you to explain the sliding scale for those who don't know.
So
Um,
that is based off of you can tell like you would tell your whoever you're working with roughly how much you make and
yeah,
what you are roughly comfortable paying. And then working on that, it's a mutual understanding between your therapist and the client that that is what you pay, either weekly or if you need to do biweekly. Yeah, there's tons of therapists out there, not even Serenity Wellness. But again, if anybody just goes to like a psychology today, I don't know so much about like those like bigger ones like BetterHelp or talk what is it, therapy, ThriveWorks or something like that.
I
But
I don't know which one it is. I tried the like better I tried the better
Better
help. It
Talk,
was like
yeah.
it was I mean, for what it is, it wasn't awful, but like that's just to me it felt like a lot of rigmarole to just try to find somebody that I mesh with, and like it's all over texting. Like I dude, I'm not gonna be honest with you while I'm messaging you
Yeah.
while you know what I mean? Like it's not I need to like do it either virtually or like in person. You know what I mean?
You know what'd be cool is if there was like a speed dating event for therapists and like anybody
Yeah.
could it probably is very problematic like if you're coming in like in a fucking crisis, but
Yeah.
you just have like a bunch of tables of different therapists and you spend 5 minutes with them and you get to because if you don't like your therapist, you really won't get much done. It's so
Right.
true.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So sliding scale. We
Yes. The broker you are, the less you pay, but you still get what you need. You know,
Okay.
I am not the only clinician that is here to help people. And there are so many private practices, there's so many clinicians that are willing to work with you because they
Yeah.
want to see you thrive. They want to help. We have a calling. If you don't feel that from your therapist, you're not with the right one.
Okay. That's I mean that's valid information. And a very good point. So speaking of points, what other you say you still got more, like let's
Okay.
unpack. Let's unpack.
Okay. I want a little bit, this is kind of off our conversation of OCD,
Yeah.
but you know, the idea of the what ifs, like if a thought starts with what if it's an intrusive thought. And the reason why someone might be common, like easily in like subsep I can't even say the word, but the reason why someone might do the what ifs a lot um stems again from growing up. Your worst case scenario came true. All the what ifs that your little kid brain, it happened, right?
Right.
What if, mommy does this and it happens? What if we have to do this and it happens? And then it puts us again in this like mindset
Yeah.
of I can't even think about the best because I have to prepare myself for the worst so that I can
Mm.
stay afloat so that when the worst happens, I'm not crumbling.
Yeah, no, those what ifs are a killer. I mean I do it to myself all the time. I
I'm
mean,
such a bitch.
it's dude, it's terrible. You know what I mean? I that's my one of my biggest and worst flaws is like I will what if myself to death, dude.
Yep.
Um and I mean it was I did the same thing when getting into photography and and doing this, and I'm like
What if?
I was like fuck dude, like what if like what if I get ran off the internet, you know what I mean? What if I get canceled, or like I did that, and then I don't know what it was, but me and my buddy, me and Zip were like, dude, like just fuck the what ifs. Like let's start Monday, and this was on a Friday, and I was like, dude, let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? I that conquering that what if was oof
But you're
massive.
doing scary shit. And when you step back and it's like, all right, I can decide not to do something and have regret, or I can do it and at least have a conclusion about what I've done.
Right. Right.
You can't go back into your past and play on the regret and try to do something differently, but you now have information going forward. As if, your buddy Zip said something last week, like being stuck in the loop.
Yeah.
And I hear that a lot from clients too, is like that one SpongeBob episode where Squidward gets into the condo complex and like at first he's
Oh,
happy
yeah.
and every day's
Yep.
going and then every day's going and then every day's going. And I think sometimes being in the like monotony of like the everyday
Yeah.
is just that's exhausting in itself.
Oh, yeah, it is. Like, that's that's exhausting for, like, a neurotypical in
Right. Not even the
individual, but
neurospicy people.
no, like, we get up and we're already overstimulated and exhausted, like, dude,
Exactly.
I haven't even, like, taken my morning piss yet, and I already can't with today.
Ready to go the fuck to sleep. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
even opening up like social media in the morning too, I know. Although this morning seeing, all the Bad Bunny stuff, I thought of you because there was the meme of Bad Bunny giving the little kid the Grammy.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is what your therapist means by healing your inner child.
Oh,
Right. And
yeah,
I was like, that is so on point, is I
yeah,
think to really heal your inner child, you probably have to like parent a child, right? And
yeah.
go through that experience yourself of like doing things differently.
Yeah. No, it absolutely does. There's something about like breaking generational curses
Mhm.
that heals a little bit in you every single time you do something different than, your family or your parents, grandparents, whatever would have done, you
Yeah.
know. And there's I mean and there's that you can only really get from that experience, you know what I mean? Obviously there's other things in life that you can help, you know, do
Yeah.
all sorts of healing, but like breaking those generational curses fixes something on a completely different scale, you
No, I
know?
know. It's like hard your bad experiences don't define you. It's the actions in those bad experiences that do, right?
Oh yeah.
Life is pain and suffering. The Buddhist said it. Everyone is going to have some kind of pain and suffering in their life. It's what you do in the face of that pain and suffering that I think really makes or breaks a person,
Yeah.
you know?
No, absolutely. Um and I've come to realize and like see that more myself, you know what I mean? Instead of reacting immediately, I try to like, all right, so like old me would have crashed out, old me would have went crazy, old me would have burned Subway down. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
You've got a new skill. We
and
call that the stop skill. It
oh,
actually stands for something, but
does it really?
it does.
What does it
So
stand for?
the S is actual stop.
Yeah.
T is take a step back. So this is your moment where you literally take a step back, or that's like your hold on, Troy, we like Subway.
Yeah.
O is observe everything that's going on around you, but also maybe what's happening inside you, how you're feeling, why you might be feeling this way. And then P is proceed mindfully. So this is fuck you, Subway. I'm going to McDonald's, right? I'm still getting a sweet treat, but
Yeah.
you know, you're so close. Yeah, so close.
I was so close. All right. So I've seen comments about people wanting to hear the
You're
Subway
gonna have to
story.
give it to them. Give the people what they
So
want.
okay. So you understand the struggle of not knowing what you want to eat, especially
I
a
am a
long
female after
after a long day, okay? Um I hadn't eaten and I was like trying to figure out what I wanted and I just couldn't. So I had to bring Jenna a couple of places and then bring her home and I was like, "All right, well, I guess I'll grab food while we're out." And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat. We drove by like every single place known to man, like Five Guys, fucking no, McDonald's, no. And I was like, all right, you know what? I really want a Subway. I really want a Subway sandwich. Like that's what we're gonna do. So I like made a conscious physical decision to get off of 95 and go down Route 9.
proud of you.
and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm doing this for me. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? It was a whole epiphany, and it was a whole, hallelujah moment. You know what I mean? So Google says that they were open until 9. It is 8:04. I pull in the fucking parking lot, and they are closed. The I'm getting so mad just thinking about it.
We can do a
Um,
grounding technique after. It's okay.
so, so So they had a sign on the door and it said new hours. They close at 8. I'm like, it's 8:03. And I was like, yo, I was very upset. So I got back in the car and just proceeded to just crash out. It was terrible. Like it went it went into like I make, of course, like the one time I choose something for myself, like making piss poor fucking life choices. It was there was the arrow.
You're doing the
And
second arrows.
yo, it was terrible, and I ended up, like, door dashing McDonald's no, I actually tried no, I tried to DoorDash Smash Burger, and then the order got canceled. So, like, proceed crash out number 2 of the night.
Yep. Yep.
I was like,
And
"Fuck
then
this."
you're hangry,
Oh,
like,
dude.
you know what, that Troy, I did wanna ask you, so my dissertation to become Dr. Hotz was on self-care,
Yeah.
and I have this conversation with my clients, and I wanna have it with you, is what do you do that actually fills up your cup? Other than sleep, don't give me sleep as a I knew, yeah, 18 hours of sleep. No, give me a real what fills up your cup?
Um,
Self-care.
I I don't know.
This?
I don't yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a portion of my cup that gets filled by, doing this and, the satisfaction of, helping, yeah, for sure. Um, but like outside of that, I don't know, like just hanging out with my family, like not having to not having to do anything or like go anywhere and just enjoy the house that I help pay for, the kids that I help raise, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I want to enjoy that and like just not have to deal with anything at all.
the noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like my biggest 2 things for viewers or anybody in general is recognizing like what are your signs of burnout
Yeah.
and then what fills up your cup. Right? I'm very similar. like, literally deal with people as my day job,
Yeah.
and I also teach at 2 universities in Connecticut, so it's also my night job,
Yeah.
but to be in a room of silence or take a hot shower, people think, like, self-care needs to be like, "Oh, I get my nails done, I get my hair done," like, they think it needs to have to do with money,
Yo,
but,
them
like
them hot showers hit crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
like,
Jenna says
grounding
I
technique right there.
Jenna says I pour it out mostly. That's
Yep. That's the problem. I
yeah.
know, you gotta save some for your own.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, like the amount of frazzled that I was when I got home and realized that I couldn't take a shower
Oh my
here.
god.
So we figured out the issue was just it's a bad pressure switch. But like in the time, like I was things were
Troy's
not
hanging out with my grandma,
yeah.
everybody. Like, cooler with her than
Yo, Charlotte, you know what I mean?
Charlotte,
We
90-year-old
we love
baddie.
we love Charlotte. But so I called Jen and I was like, can I swing by and like, you know what I mean, take a shower? And that hot shower before having to come back here and
Oh my
do
god.
this was like therapeutic. It was like 4 therapy sessions in one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just like sat there for a second. I was like, all right, cool. Like we can do this.
There's a new trend where people are, showering in the dark.
I so listen, I
Dangerous.
very, but like I listen, I used to do that shit before it was cool.
Yeah, right?
Like back
It's
in the
called
day.
depression showers.
Yo, I used to live in um like I would I've done it actually. I've done it here a couple of times. So we decorate for whatever season, you know what I mean? Halloween is our favorite. We all know that.
Has to
But
be.
during Halloween, we had these purple bat lights above the mirror. and they're like they would like strobe or like stay constant or whatever. So I would literally like all the time just shut the light off, put the purple on, and just sit underneath the hot water.
It's a
And
vibe.
like yo, I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes I'll sit in there and cry and like decompress from like, a shitty week or like a shitty day, you know what I mean? And I just like I just it's more therapeutic than one realizes, I think.
Like, my clients were struggling after having session with me to like get on with the rest of their day
Yeah.
without ruminating on what we were talking about or what we were unpacking, right?
Yeah.
And I told them like after your session, I need you to come to me unshowered. And then after our session, you are to take a hot shower. And even if the clothes that you are wearing are already clean, get into new clothes. Is there something about washing off an intense session or an intense emotional breakthrough, right? And then getting into fresh clothes that
Dude.
just it compartmentalizes it a little bit, it grounds you again.
Oh, absolutely. Haley yells at me because I go through clothes all the time. Like if I have a mental breakdown, I can't wear the same thing. I need to get in the shower. I need to clean it off. I need to like reset, restart. You know what I mean? And she's like, I
Exactly.
just washed these, and I'm like,
Can you
I
wash them again? Because I
was
might
like,
crash out tomorrow.
I don't control the anxiety. Obviously, I do, but like I don't control it, and I can't. Nope. But we can't carry on.
Anxiety is such a bitch, honestly. I think that is like one of the most debilitating things at times.
It's crippling.
Mhm.
Like dude, like for a couple weeks, you know what I mean, at a time, I can't respond to messages because coming up with a response is like, ah, please
Yeah.
stop, please stop needing me. Like,
Well,
do
now
me a favor if you need me, don't need me.
well, now it's like, let me put these responses into Chat GPT and have it spin out responses for me because I'm too
Dude,
tired or
I didn't even have the mental capacity to do that.
that makes sense.
Like, yeah, you're getting left on red, big dog. I don't make the rules. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't.
circle back in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, and hope that you don't hate me. Because like I'm like I've seen memes and like I'm not that reliable friend. Like I'm if you need me, like chances are I'll be there. You know what I mean? Like I'll listen to your story, but like you got to give me like 3 to 5 business days to like get back to you. You know what I mean?
That's
And like
fair.
it's I
You
gotta
are a person first,
yeah.
a friend, all of the other roles that you have and have to tend to and give 100% to. You are a person first. Pumpkin in your cup.
All right, so there's a story behind that too. I I liked Dunkin' pumpkin iced coffees. Okay,
Oh,
and they don't have it on the app, but they had it in store.
yeah.
But I prefer to order my stuff on the app, but because it's not on the app, but I know it's in the store, it's I can't inconvenience them to like, hey, can you throw some pumpkin in here?
Oh,
Um, so I just get a French vanilla coffee and just call it a fucking day. Like, all right, so this is not gonna leave me now. So like this is a permanent flavor. I'll just get used to it.
the people pleaser showing up for
Ah,
you a little bit.
dude, it's Jenna makes fun of me for it all the time. It's
No, you show up for your loved ones. You do more than that. Look, you're taking time out of your own day after a day of work, taking time, you know, from family time or chilling on the couch watching, the newest, greatest, latest, whatever.
yeah.
And you're doing something for not only that is helping you, but you're doing this for other people too.
And now here comes all of the oh he did yeah.
They're coming for you in the comments.
They're coming for me in all of the positive reinforcements. He
Yeah.
took me to Clinton after we were 10 minutes away from Domino's. I mean, yeah, it's I'm the type that will always be there for like my people because like I know what it feels like to not have people, you know what I mean? And like I don't ever want people that are associated with me or in my corner to feel like they have nobody. You know what I mean? Because like I know how that feels, and it's shitty.
Who's there for
Um,
you?
I mean, Haley, my friends. I mean, it took me a long time to like realize that like it's okay for me to like lean on some of these people. You know what I mean? It's okay to like. I mean, Jenna deals with it the most because she lives literally a mile up the road from me. Jenna and Haley. Haley's a given because we live together. But like out of our friends, like yeah, there's she's solid. Haley's solid. Like it took me a long time to get comfortable and get to be. I can put the walls down a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't have to be stoic. I don't have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't have to be
that's
that guy.
exactly what my client was saying. Like, I don't know if this has been your experience, is sometimes when, you have these supports in your life, you get in your own head. You're like, well, they're
Yeah.
they're only being nice, right? Or maybe they're just saying this again to make me feel better, or because they want me to move on. And I think that's when we again self-sabotage our own selves here,
Yeah.
where it's like, no, they're idiot. They're here because they love you and they care about you. They want to be there for you. If you
Yeah.
are there for everybody else, I really think it's a gift for somebody else to be able to show up to you. Well, I mean, I know for me, if I can be there for others, that is a gift for me.
Yeah.
I love that I'm helping others, but it makes
Yeah.
me feel good. And I want to be able to give that gift to somebody else. And which
Yeah.
means that I do need to be vulnerable, which means I do need to be open and honest and share how I'm going, how I'm doing in that moment, whether it's pretty or not.
So I
Yeah.
this comment right here. I'm too nervous to lean on anyone. People like to throw it back in your face. How does so I know that I'm not the only one and I see that you're itching to like get into this. So I'm just going to let you at it. Give me your thoughts.
It says check the facts.
She's got a card for everything.
I do. This is a DBT scale. I'm going to read the back, but it's take a step back and assess the situation and determine if what you're feeling is appropriate given the context. So ask yourself, is the way I'm thinking and feeling about this situation factual? And then find the proof.
Mm,
So, like for this individual, I would be curious to know if there had ever been a time in their life where maybe they did lean on somebody or ask something of somebody and they didn't throw it back in their face.
mm. That's a very good question, and we'll definitely I hope he answers it, to be honest with you, because that's
Anything.
good. Um,
Like the way I describe that skill is like you're walking down a hallway and you say good morning to somebody
yeah.
and they keep walking, right?
Mm,
Immediately it's like, oh my God, they're mad at me. I'm such a bitch. No one wants to be my friend. Why do I even try? Why do we even bother? If we stopped to check the facts, they had headphones in. They didn't see us. They were
right.
running late for something. Like, I think we are so quick to jump to these conclusions of these all or nothing, black and white thoughts. And
Yeah.
then we decide not to try ever again because this experience has happened maybe once, twice, three, four, five times. So we immediately think as like scientists, this is going to happen every single time.
Yeah.
And I think Tristan's right. Like when you find your right people, they aren't going to throw it back in your face. They're going to give you praise. They're going to give you support. They're going to give you love.
Unless they're Jenna. Jenna's gonna throw it back
Well,
in your face.
she's a different species. I saw something so funny today that reminded me of Jenna. It was like, ugh, I gotta send it to her later, but that
um,
ADHD is real.
yeah, no, it's crazy. And oh, there's another comment. What do you got? The
Yes.
only safe place that I've been able to not be nervous and lean on anyone has been my recovery groups. Very few other people understand or even care. Yeah, I mean,
I love groups because it's other people who are going through something similar. And
yeah.
again, if you can take a break of your own shit for a second and focus on somebody else, usually that's what we want to do is kind
Mhm.
of push things back or, you know, what's the word I'm thinking? Avoidance, right?
Yeah.
The avoidance.
Said nope, even my immediate family and friends threw it back just because I don't agree with the narrative. They did it for control.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think there's a level of healing that comes with being aware that he knows that, you know what I mean, he knows that it's just for control, you know what I mean? Like there's
A
that's
bad
a bit
intention.
it's a building block that I think that a lot of genuine healing can come from. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like what are your response to that?
That's like usually at that point where, again, I'm trying to model those healthy relationships, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to communicate to my clients. And again, if you're with the right people, the right therapist, the right fit, they should be able to help you with this too. They should, help you feel like you're not going to be judged or that you're
right,
going to have to watch what you say or that is a whole different kind of shitty. And yeah, I would encourage like maybe reaching out and finding support groups or finding
right.
other people that are your people. Like Troy, you are one of those people. You do
I
not
mean, I was
throw
just I was just gonna say, like, you know what I mean? Like I know him on a personal level, you know what I mean? And I hope now he knows and understands that, if dude, if you need to reach out, bro, my phone's right here. Hit me up. Like, you know what I mean? We used to chop it up all the time. We used to talk all the time. And you know what I mean? The love, the love hasn't never changed. You know what I mean? It was he said, even when I met you, Troy, I was nervous even when you let me in. I mean, like, dude has like stepped foot in my house before, you know what I mean? Like I don't take that lightly.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's
they come into the
yeah, I'm exposing you to my safe space, you know what I'm saying? But understand that like we're here. Troy is our species. That's yes, for sure. But um it's we're trying we I want to offer the ability to know that you're not going to get judged and nothing's going to get thrown back in your face, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the one for that. Like try to give you a different perspective. I'll try to give you a different narrative, and then the next time we talk, shit, what are you talking about? Like I don't we're past that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was just a let's deal with that in the moment. Let's unpack it, let's repack it, let's get it out the
yeah.
way, and like let's keep on pushing forward. You know what I mean? And I've always been that way. At least I try to be. I actively try to be.
With like the OCD too. I mean, I think again, getting comfortable with the uncomfortable is like you
Yeah,
meet somebody, you're not going to be comfortable with them until they see your maybe worst side and they
right.
don't falter, they don't shake, but they stand stronger by you.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and unfortunately, not a lot of us grew up or come to find those people, and like I didn't find my people until I was almost in my 30s. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and it's a better late than never kind of thing.
But
And
never
don't
stop trying.
and yeah, and never allowing yourself to get kicked down so far where you're just afraid to try again. You know what I'm saying? You definitely made me feel comfortable with an open mind. I'm just never one to lean too much. And that's, I mean, it's okay. We're not telling you that you have to, you know what I mean? Like, but if you feel that you need to, it's
Yeah. That may be like a maladaptive coping skill that again we call these coping skills that you've had to adopt somewhere down the line because they kept you safe, because they protected you in that moment. But
right,
now as an adult, they may not serve you. They might actually be doing you more harm than good. So
right.
the trauma responses are these maladaptive coping skills we had to put in place to
Yeah.
protect ourselves may not be what we need as adults and may actually get in the way of us being able to further grow and progress.
Yep, and that was something that I noticed about like all of my BPD issues and all of that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
what worked for me when I was 10, 11, 12 years old does not work for me at almost 33 years old, you know what I'm saying? And like I can't just be walking around life splitting whenever the fuck, you know what I mean? Whenever a pen drops, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh fuck this, I'm out, you know?
You
Like
can, it just may have some different consequences.
yeah, you know what I
But
mean?
it's
And what
not just you, like, it is the development. Really
Right.
quick, there is something, Eric Erickson's psychosocial theory.
Yeah.
And the idea is through every age of development, you go through a different stage. And if you are not able to make it through that stage the way that, like healthy development, it
Yeah.
carries with you in life. So, very early on, one of the first stages is trust versus mistrust as an infant. You either learn that I can trust others to feed me, to clothe me, to keep me safe, or
Yeah.
you learn I can't trust others to do these things for me, to provide for me.
Yeah.
And that one, like whether again, you're not conscious as a like a newborn, but that very like development theory, it carries on and on and on. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's I can't find I can't think of anything that would, you know, discredit that because I mean it sounds right because like that's the childhood that I grew up with. You know what I mean? And that's a
The
childhood that
trust,
like I know a lot of people that, you know what I mean, just from my area and just where I grew up and like the neighborhood that I was in, like we all kind of bonded over the fact that we didn't have shit, you know what I mean? And like
definitely.
some of those people became, you know, some of my best friends and, you know, unfortunately not a lot of them are here. You know what I mean? But again, it's the unfortunate byproduct of trying to succeed in a situation that was systemically designed to fail you.
Yep, you got
You,
it.
you know,
Nail on the head.
and not a lot of us make it out, you know,
It's
and
true.
I can't hands and toes. I don't have enough of them to count the people that I grew up with that have passed away, you know what I mean, from drug overdoses or, you know, stabbings or getting shot, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
it's fucked up, and a lot of it comes from we never got we never trusted anybody to take care of us when we were growing up, so we, like, had to just get it out, go out there, get it on our own,
Fight for
you
your
know?
life.
Yeah,
Literal, like, I mean, we know we talked about this too. I don't know if we're getting close-ish, but if anyone's interested, looking up like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? They say you need like food, shelter, clothing, but there's like a very clear big section in there
yeah,
of love and belonging. And so these are your basic needs that you need in order to not be in survival mode or not be in fight or flight. And if they aren't met, again, this carries with you, but it doesn't
yeah,
mean that you're broken or that these things can't be worked on and that again, can't break those generational curses. Is like the work that you're putting now is only going to be benefiting you and your future generations to come later. It just sucks that sometimes it's down
yeah,
on us to work on all of that generational bullshit.
right, but, I mean, I think growing up in the era excuse me, growing up in the era that we did, you know, where electronics and stuff were starting to take over.
Oh my
You know,
God.
we were the last generation to go out there and, like, play manhunt and, like,
Yeah,
really, like, you know, not depend on things, and we relied on social interaction, and we relied on, like, "Fuck, dude, I broke my arm, my homie's gotta help me get back to my parents' house so they could kill me and then bring me to the hospital," you know what I mean? Like,
definitely. Some
we
fuck
rel
shit.
yo, oh my god, it was always some fuck shit, but,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was that sense of like, shit, I know my I know my parents don't got me, but my friends got me, and, you know, we're gonna figure this shit out one way or another, you know what I mean?
Chosen family. They come to you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right?
That's
And
it.
those are like literally the ride or die
A
lifetimes.
reason, a season, or a lifetime. I love that. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
people
that's good.
usually that's the lifetime friends that are
Yeah.
the ones that you again are talking about these kinds of things with openly and honestly.
Yeah,
Could you
absolutely.
imagine if social media hit like when either one of us were like teenagers like that? Like, forget like, there are people in now the psychiatric units that are allowed to have their phones. So the very thing that has gotten them there in the first place, because there's,
Right.
drama, Facebook comments, whatever, now they're still being exposed to it. It's
The
just,
the constant comparison of one's life to yours.
oh my god, the comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah.
sometimes it actually is combined with another skill. It's an accept skill. I won't go into it, but We'll save it for next month. But comparison sometimes can be helpful. Is like, I think about if I don't have enough, um, like let's say I don't have enough money to afford the things I want in the week. I think back, okay, well, I have hot water. There's were times when I didn't. I have
Yep.
electricity. There's times when I didn't. I have heat, so I'm okay tonight. So even just those kinds of comparisons sometimes can propel us a little forward.
Absolutely. Ooh, I think I'm about to sneeze.
Do it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Troy, this was fucking phenomenal.
This was phenomenal. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. It's we're creeping up on both of our bedtimes here.
Yeah, you know it. God, it's hard saving the world. No, I'm kidding.
It is, but I mean, we have so much to talk about over the coming episodes. I mean, honestly, we'll take you whenever you're free because you've given all of our viewers and all of our fans like actual insight and
Hmm.
good tangible things to work with. So, I mean, for that I cannot thank you enough, and I can't thank you enough in advance for all that you're going to bring to the table for this
Right back at
podcast.
you. I will put my own disclosure. I do not pretend to be the expert of anyone's lives or their situations. Everyone is unique and different, but I just encourage if anyone's struggling, get the mental health that you need, rely on
Yeah.
your friends, talk to your boys, especially if you're a man. Like toxic masculinity, we are, shattering glass ceilings here, breaking down barriers and walls. And Troy, you are to thank for a lot of that. So, when you rest your head on the pillow tonight, just know you're showing up for so many people. It's fucking awesome.
I really appreciate that. I can't thank you enough for that. I definitely can't thank you enough for like actually coming out here.
Always.
So listen, it's been a pleasure.
It's been real.
We will schedule the next time you will be up here, and yeah, we'll get going on that.
Beautiful. Thank you guys, and I will see you on the next month.
Thanks, Doc.
Bye.
All right, you guys, that was an incredible show. An hour and a half with some really, really great fucking content, some really great information, and some really great knowledge. Um, Super insightful. If you guys need, I've dropped the website for her organization. I've tagged her in the post. I've tagged her, everywhere that I could possibly tag her for this. Um, and yeah, reach out if you need help, reach out if you need resources. She has resources for days, and I promise you. But I would like to thank each and every single one of you for coming out here every single week, 3 months strong, 12 whole weeks, 12 episodes. We're really out here doing this. We're really out here trying to make a change, and I couldn't possibly do it without the support from all of you guys, without all of the engaging comments, the engaging content. Shout out yourselves one time. You guys always show up and show out, and for that, I am forever thankful and grateful. So, without further ado, it's your boy Troy. This is the Mental Health Podcast. Catch us again next week. We are taking visitors. We are taking guests is the word that I'm looking for. Sorry, we're tired. But yeah, if you're interested in being a guest, hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we can schedule you a time. Actually, next week we have my boy from Massachusetts. Actually, he relocated even further north, but my boy Shane Kelly. He will be on next Monday night virtually live at 8:30 regular schedule programming. So we will catch you then. Have a good night, everybody.